an auto versus auto accident. There are so many more issues involved when dealing with a truck accident case. There are federal regulations and state regulations, several different companies that may be involved. I can immediately gather the evidence, get you the medical care you need with no deductible and no copay to you, and get you the compensation and the money you deserve for your injuries. And if there's no recovery, there's no fees charged to you. I'm attorney Daniel Rudbari. I know how to fight truck companies. Call me 800-325-1454 for your free consultation. 800-325-1454.
KCAA.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the greatest real estate investment show ever. Here's the flip-flop investor himself, Todd Bayer.
Well, hey everyone, how we doing out there today? This is the Flip-Flop Investor Show, and I am your host, Todd Bayer, the Flip-Flop Investor himself. That's what they call me anyway. I didn't come up with that name. They gave me that name.
Did they really?
They really did.
Wow,
that's
because exciting.
It's because I wear flip-flops.
Pretty much every day. It's rain or shine, people.
Yeah, and I'm an investor. So, the flip-flop investor, I guess it
that
just
totally
made
makes sense. Yeah.
I'll go with it. We'll stick with that.
I like it.
Anyway, for those of you that are new, the Flip-Flop Investor Show is a show about real estate investing here in the Inland Empire, but the information works pretty much anywhere in California. So. Anyway, we get together every week. We talk about real estate investing, and I like to bring on a guest every week. And for those of you that have been following along, we've been doing sort of a theme every week, and actually every month, the same theme.
Yes.
So in January, we set goals.
Okay.
And then in February, we business planned. So we planned out how to reach those goals. And then in March, we talked about acquisitions, deal finding.
Yes, I remember that. I was here for one of those.
Yes, you were. And in April, now that we're in April, it's the first week of April, we are doing our next segment. So in April, we're going to be talking about negotiation.
Oh, very cool. By the way, my name's Tyler Hungerford. Everybody, I totally forgot. Oh, you were
I
you?
was getting to that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, with that being said, this week we'd like to welcome our very special guest, one of our lead acquisitions guy for Community Restoration Group.
Yes.
Mr. Tyler Hungerford. How you doing today, Tyler?
I'm doing really great. Thank you so much for having me.
This is where we need one of those applause tracks.
We do.
Like, woo, one of those.
Yeah.
Carlos is like, I think I got one somewhere.
No, it's okay, man.
It's all right.
Okay.
We'll do it next time.
We have to have a cue.
We got to cue it, yeah. Next week, everybody will be like, wow, we got a big crowd there. We do have a big crowd out there listening in Radioland.
Do we?
Yeah, we actually are, as far as I know, the #1 real estate investing show on KCAA.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, which is quite an honor. I think we're the only one, the only real estate investing show on KCAA.
Number one, baby.
#1, it feels to be on the top. All right, so negotiation.
Yes.
Let's jump right into it.
Okay, let's talk about
usually we like to just, kind of BS for a little bit, go back and forth.
Yeah, we do.
But this week,
that's kind of negotiation, though. It's a kind of a BS. It's a back and forth.
And that's what I was going to ask you was, when does the negotiation start in a deal? I mean, it doesn't start with terms.
Absolutely. It starts from the moment you pick up your phone.
Right.
From the moment you decide that you want to make an offer on that house.
Does it start there?
Absolutely.
Or does it start with you kind of gathering facts before that conversation?
There you go. Yeah, there you go. I think it's when you choose to that's why I'm saying when you make an offer on a house, you've already gathered those facts. So I guess, it actually starts even before that.
Yeah, fact-finding.
Yeah, fact-finding.
You got to dig in, find out what are you dealing with.
Even finding the property itself, I guess it starts even from there.
Let's assume we found a house, right? We're looking to buy this thing, 123 Main Street.
Okay.
We've bought this house, I don't know how many times now.
We bought it a lot.
123 Main Street
keeps getting wrecked.
Yeah, I don't know. These people can't seem to hang on to this place. It's the revolving door deal. So 123 Main Street is it's a house, and we know the owner. But what do we do to get this thing? We have to obviously find out what the story is of this place. We need to figure out the after repair value of it.
Exactly.
What are we going to resell it for? And we need to kind of get an idea of what the condition of it is right now.
Absolutely.
And figure out what we're going to spend on a rehab there. So we have our data sources for that, the MLS being one of them.
That's one of our main ones, yeah, for finding information about, comparables and things like that, so we can determine, what that property is going to be worth once it's all said and done.
Right. And for us, we kind of follow a formula. We,
Right.
our buy price is based upon two pieces of data: the after repair value and the rehab cost. Right. Mm-hmm. So, our negotiation is fairly simple. I think our method for negotiation is, rather straightforward.
It is. I mean, and it's either a yes or a no. Pretty much, we give our highest and best every single time.
Yeah.
So
there's no negotiation really when you're working with us, but that's not how everybody works, and that's not exactly negotiation because you still got to get in the door. You still got to talk to the owner.
Exactly.
And there's that right there is where the sales really comes in. The owner has to trust you, has to want to work with you.
Right.
So, we should talk a little bit about how we get our foot in the door, and that's really the negotiation that we're here to talk about today. Not so much the talking about terms of a deal, because I'm sure some people out there, they make those lowball kind of offers where we know our maximum buy price would be like $150,000, let's say, to buy a place,
right?
But they're going to offer, going into it, they're going to offer $100,000 to the owner, and maybe the owner will take it.
I mean, it's worth a shot.
It could be.
You may offend them, though, and they may tell you to shove off. Don't come back.
Yeah, it very well probably will offend them.
Yeah.
And for us, it's just, that it takes too much time and effort to deal with that, to make an offer and then, have to go back and forth a bunch of times. Instead, we just say, look, this is our offer. It's the best we can do. Take it or leave it.
I literally had one of these last week where we were dealing with, actually this week. It was this week.
It must have been.
We were dealing with a wholesaler. He came in. He liked our price. He actually asked us to come up a little bit by $1,500. Mm-hmm. So we did. We came up.
Which we basically told our contractor, hey, we got to do this thing for $1,500 less.
Exactly.
That was where we got the $1,500 from.
Right. Exactly. So and then he says, well, no, but on top of that, you're going to also pay my closing costs. So it was an additional $3,200 that wasn't accounted for. And because of that, we weren't able to, complete the deal. We
Mm-hmm.
had a negotiation. We told him, hey, our highest offer is I think it was $212. He came in and said, hey, well, can you come up $1,500 more? So being that we wanted to do business with this guy, I knew it wasn't going to be our first deal or it wasn't going to be our last deal together. I said, sure, we'll come up $1,500. The numbers work. Let's do it. And then on top of that, he didn't disclose another amount of money on top. And so that screwed the deal for us, screwed the pooch.
Yeah, it did.
Unfortunately. So, that type of stuff does come in negotiations a lot,
Sure.
where things come up right at the end, like, hey, well, you need to pay this on top too. And that's not really fair for a lot of people. And so,
right. Well, they were negotiating with us.
Right. They were negotiating with us.
And sometimes, it's a problem, I think, sometimes in our industry because, everybody's trying to make as much money as they possibly can.
Totally.
And I get it.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. But when he buys the house for $189,000 and tells me he's buying it for $209,000,
yeah,
that's where I get a little caveat and I get a little upset.
Sure. Yeah, I think they're actually making more money on a wholesale than we
were
on the flip.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that that's wrong to us. As long as the deal makes sense for us to do it, we're going to do it.
Of course, yeah.
And I'm not going to fault them for negotiating a better deal.
No, they did a great job.
But, it definitely it's upsetting when they're really sticking hard to a number and they're making us take a smaller margin on our return. That's when they had plenty to give up on their side. It's kind of like, hey, look, we compromised on our side a little bit for you guys.
Yeah,
which is putting us in a tighter position. And when you treat your buyers that way as a wholesaler, I think you're not looking out for your buyer's best interest, and you're only looking out for your own self. So I think it's a little bit selfish.
That's most wholesalers, though. I don't know any wholesalers that look out for other people.
There's plenty of them. Just not these particular guys. I don't know if we're going to work with them again. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. I called him. He never called me back.
Oh,
I know.
That's even worse.
I know.
Negotiations aren't over once the deal closes.
Exactly.
You got negotiations afterwards.
Exactly.
You gotta keep it going.
Yeah, exactly. That's called negotiation relationships. So
yeah, and that's what it is, really.
I wanted to take him out to a game, get to know him a little bit,
Sure.
Create a relationship with him so that my next negotiation's a lot easier. So he knows my numbers a little bit tighter.
Now you're going to take him out to a little league game rather than, it was going to be a professional sporting event.
It was going to be a professional sporting event.
Now it's going to be a little league
It's got to be little league, maybe high school.
Yeah,
we'll go that far.
Maybe,
but
yeah.
it's going to definitely be free.
Maybe yeah, it's gonna be a free event. Bring a sack lunch.
Sack lunch, yeah, absolutely. Bring your own sunflower seeds,
Right.
or choice of snack.
Oh man,
I know
that's a nice date.
it is a nice little date.
Food for thought. Anyway,
Definitely. Anyway, so back to negotiation. So you said you wanted to kind of start from the very beginning.
Right.
What do you mean by that? Is it, am I looking at properties on the MLS and I'm looking and seeing which ones actually work for us, which ones don't, or is it something that's a lead that's brought in by someone else? What kind of direction do you want to go?
Let's go with your expertise, because in your world, you're not going door to door knocking on doors.
No.
So in your world, you're calling up real estate agents that have a listing on the MLS.
Yep.
And this is, for a lot of people, this is the top of the top. When you're a good acquisitions person, or you work for a good company that has a good reputation.
Yeah.
And that's why you're able to get deals through the MLS. Most people struggle to get deals through the MLS.
That's very true, they do.
That's where 95% of our deals come from. So on the MLS, you're dealing with real estate agents. They would have a relationship with their seller, but you still have to, work with these agents. And some of them are new to you and new to us. They've never heard of us. And so we have to kind of reintroduce ourselves and
Yep.
Get them to know us. So what do you do to start off the conversation with an agent?
So whenever I'm calling a property that looks distressed, I immediately go and I say, hey, my name's Tyler Hungerford. I work for Community Restoration Group. How you doing today?
All right. And they say,
oh, doing well. Thank you so much. What can I do for you?
do they ever cut you off at this point and say something like,
Well,
you're
okay,
one of
what do
those
you need?
investor guys?
Yeah. So, well, what do you need? Well, I'm calling on 123 Main Street, and I just wanted to call and see about the story behind the house. I noticed it was a little distressed and had some damage to it. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out what's going on inside and how much my repair costs would potentially be. Can you tell me what's the story on this house? Talk to me.
You want to do some role playing? Is that
Yeah,
what you
let's,
wanna do?
yeah,
All right.
let's do this. Tell me
All
the
right.
story. What's going on with 123 Main
It's
Street?
the Tyler Hungerford show, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm just kidding. This property is like you said, the house needs some work.
Okay.
We had a contractor bid it for us.
Did you? Okay, cool.
They told us it's going to be $15,000 to repair.
15,000.
15. That's
Okay.
correct.
Well, okay, 15,000. So what kind of repairs are we looking at here?
Well, it needs a new roof. It needs a kitchen. It's going to
Interesting.
need 2 new bathrooms.
Okay.
Fully gutted. You're going to have to repair everything in this house.
Oh, is there a lot of issues with plumbing or things like that? What's going on with the kitchen?
As far as we know, the plumbing's fine, but the cabinets are all beat up. They're going to need to go out.
Okay.
And the bathrooms have, everything's outdated.
Okay, so you're just saying it's outdated. It doesn't mean I necessarily need to pull the whole thing. Or is there water damage? Is there mold? Like what kinds of things are going on?
There's some damage to the toilet, to the tub.
Oh, okay.
And the vanity is an old pedestal sink. It's not actually a vanity.
Okay.
And there's no mirror. And no medicine cabinet.
So was this a licensed contractor, or was this someone that was this a handyman?
This is my cousin.
This is your cousin. Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
And
great.
he's a contractor.
Oh, is he? How long has he been doing this?
He's been doing this for 3.5 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I can tell you that from my experience and from my contractor's experience, he's been in the business for a little over 30 years.
No, 3.5.
Oh, 3.5. Oh, my contractor's been in about 30 years. And so he's given me some kind of rough numbers when I'm looking at different things in a house. At least $10,000 on a new roof, depending on the size of the house. Mm-hmm. Anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 in each bathroom, and an additional $10,000 to $15,000 on the kitchen. So
that's ridiculous.
I agree. Those are kind of crazy numbers.
My cousin could do that bathroom for $1,000 each.
Really?
And they could do that roof for $1,500.
So if the city was to come by and pull permits on that house and say, hey, where are the permits at? All of that kind of stuff. Is your cousin going to be able to provide those for him, or does he do a lot of his stuff off the books?
My contractor does stuff off the books.
Oh, okay. So that's the difference, right? So someone who does stuff off the books can do it obviously for a lot cheaper. But the problem with that is there's not a lot of quality when it comes to that. So what I like to do is
this house is in San Bernardino. I mean, it doesn't need to be, amazingly beautiful.
So, well, let me ask you this: if you were to move your family into this area, would you want to live in a beautiful house, or would you want to live in a poorly constructed house?
I live in Rancho Cucamonga. I would never live in this house.
Okay, well that tells me another thing about you. That's totally fine. I totally get that. But for me, and whenever I'm looking at a house, I want to provide the best I can for that family moving in. So I know that my prices may be a little bit higher than what you're used to, but I'm working with a contractor who's been in the business a long time. We do a lot of houses, and this wouldn't be the only thing that we'd be able to work on together. You know, I don't know if you do a lot of these distressed homes, but I'm definitely interested in maybe working with you in the future on this. Not just on this one, but on other ones. So for this one in particular, I mean, for me, I'm looking at it, and you're saying, you know, $15,000. I'm looking at least $30,000 to $40,000.
Okay, so how much would you be able to offer at that price?
So, well, the offer price being, you know, I know you're looking for $150,000 on the house, but I think for me and my crew, we'd have to be a little bit closer to 100, about 110. Do you guys think you can stomach something like that?
I don't know if the seller's going to accept anything that low.
Really? Okay. Well, how about this? Why don't we have my contractor come out? I'll meet you there. We can do a quick walkthrough. I can get a better sense of the numbers, and that'll allow me the opportunity to really see the condition of the home and, you know, be able to give you the best and highest offer I can do. Would you be okay with that?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. All right, great. So what time works best for you, tomorrow or Thursday?
It's vacant. You can go anytime.
Anytime. Okay. Well, I'd like to meet you there too. Is that all right? I'd love the chance to shake your hand.
I can't be there today, but I could meet you there tomorrow.
Tomorrow, what time? Are you thinking morning or afternoon?
Yeah, like 8 a.m.
8 a.m.? Okay, let's that's a little early, okay? Yeah, that's a little early. Can you do 10?
I could.
Okay, perfect. Let's shoot for 10 a.m. I'll meet you there with my contractor. We'll go ahead and walk through the house. And maybe we'll get to educate you a little bit about, you know, what types of things that flippers do and flippers look for in a home. Does that sound okay?
Sounds wonderful.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm really looking forward to the chance to shake your hand, meet you in person, and walk through the house.
All right, I love it.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
That was a role play, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you just tuning in. That was us talking about, I was pretending to be the real estate agent. Tyler was pretending to be the, well, I guess Tyler.
Yeah, I was
you were
pretending
being
to
you.
be myself.
You,
Yeah.
you do you. And, you know, I was being kind of a pain as a realtor. I was being tough on Tyler.
You were.
Because in my case, I have a contractor cousin that knows everything about real estate, flipping and whatnot, and he seems to know that the rehab was only going to cost $15,000, but
which I've never heard of a rehab costing $15,000. By the way, everybody.
Yeah. Just so you know, those people out there, I know it's
the house sells for $50,000 less than what it could have with a $15,000 rehab.
The least I've ever spent on a renovation on a home was $18,000 and some change.
Right.
Because that house didn't really need much. It was a fairly newly built home. I think it was built in 2005.
Okay.
You know, and I think I did this in like 2009, 10, something like that.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't that old, and it didn't really need much. But surprisingly, people can damage a lot of stuff in a home in that span of time.
They
4 or
totally
5
can.
years.
You know, I should have asked a little bit more about the condition of the home, the paint. I should have asked about the flooring. I could have asked about the windows. I could have asked about the bedrooms and what those looks like, what the carpet looks like, all that kind of stuff. So there's
you could
additional.
save all that. You could save all that for the meeting at the home tomorrow at 10.
But there was a lot of other things that I could have brought into that conversation to help beat up that real estate agent too.
And
show
if they're
them that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and if they're kind of giving you a hard time to set the appointment for you to go see the home, you're gonna have to give them a little more convincing, ask some more questions.
Exactly.
Get them to what your point is. And I liked what you were doing, where you were calling out the costs of some of these things. You can say, my contractors told me that a new roof is $10,000 right there. If the house inside is amazing, then we can maybe make this work for 15. But
right.
Yeah, it's pretty. But a lot of times I've seen actually realtors when they get a bid from a contractor,
it's someone who's actually a licensed
contractor, and their bids are usually much higher than what we're going to come in
way
at.
higher, and I love that.
Yeah, and it's good.
That.
It's good, but it works for us sometimes in that case, where we can come in and say, actually, your bid of $80,000 to redo this house is probably for us going to be about $50,000, and that $30,000 actually works out because our price now is about lined up with what you're asking.
Yeah, exactly.
And so sometimes that works out. And yeah, like you said, I love it when they have a real contractor bid. So for agents out there that that are listing a home that's in disrepair, you should consider having a contractor
totally
walk it.
Consider have a contractor walk it. You're going to get way better prices on the MLS. I mean, you just are.
Yeah.
Because someone who's a newbie who doesn't know anything is going to say, oh, well, your contractor walked it? Okay, well, that at least gives me a sense of, okay, maybe I can come in and pay a little bit more.
And
Obviously,
that contractor
that
might get a
affects
job out of it.
Yeah, totally. Totally. So you're helping out people in your sphere of influence and allows you the opportunity to maybe get some referral payment, all that kind of stuff. So there's a business right there, or just a referral business that you can build for yourself.
And you might even get a listing on the back side of that because you did right by the client.
Exactly.
So
both clients, by the way, the
right.
buyer and the seller and the buyer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
cool.
That's one negotiation when you're talking with a realtor.
Yeah.
But it's not always realtors.
No, it's wholesalers.
And sometimes it's realtors that don't really know the house needs any work. Some realtors think that it's going to sell in the 1980s style that it currently is in. It's got that beautiful wallpaper. It's got those honey oak cabinets that everybody used to love.
Love
the Formica countertops. It's got all that stuff in there that is, totally what today's buyer's looking for.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's funny because so many agents we've found don't know how to value property. And
which kind of blows my mind. It's really not that difficult. You use comparable properties within the neighborhood.
Comparable is a tough word. A lot of people don't realize what that means. Like if I go to, let's say a flooring store and I'm looking at two samples of quartz countertop,
right?
And they're both very similar looking. I'm comparing them to each other because they're very similar.
Right.
But if I put up next to the quartz countertop, I put up a wooden countertop, those are two very different countertops.
That's true.
And it's not comparable, but they're countertops and they're new. And a wood countertop in some designs actually would get you a higher value because
very true.
It's a new thing, and especially if you do it like on an island and do the countertop in quartz, but then if you do an island with like a wood countertop, kind of accentuates it, creates a cool look. That's sometimes something you're looking for, but that's more of a high end thing.
That is more of a high end thing, yeah.
And so new typically is going to be better when it comes to value, as far as I'm concerned. If you got like those old Formica countertops that look like a wood countertop, those veneer countertops that are really popular in tract homes in the 70s and 80s. You get those things, and it can be in perfectly good shape, and they look basically all right. I mean, I've seen homes where these things are still well intact, or like tile countertops.
Yep.
Popular in the 80s, also the 90s.
Yep.
Where you had these tiles,
We used to have tile in my house.
Yep, little white tiles, right? And so, those were popular. But today, I mean, a lot of people are buying homes, they want granite or quartz at least. Right. So if you still have the tile countertops in there, it's going to look dated.
Exactly.
And I agents just think, the house is clean and in good shape. That makes it top of the price range, and it just doesn't work that way.
I have so much and I'll tell you this is the most difficult type of negotiation with these types of people because they feel like, oh, well, the house is turnkey.
Yeah.
Well,
and it is.
It is.
Yeah, the house works fine as a house. There's nothing wrong with it. Like it works. The water heater's there. The AC's fine. They got a roof on it that's not that old. I mean, yeah, I get it. It's turnkey. Like somebody could move in,
right?
And it's a perfectly fine house. But if we have a home for sale that we've just done a renovation on, and everything in there is modern,
brand new,
and it's the same exact house, same street, we're going to get a much higher value. We're going to get more offers, and our price is going to get bid up.
Yep.
If you're listing yours for $300 and we're listing ours for $300, what's the buyer that's out there looking for their next home? What are they going to offer on first?
Ours.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's how you have to look at it. That's how the agents, that's what they fail to do sometimes, is to look at it from a buyer's eyes.
Right.
If I'm in the market to buy a home, here's the competition right now. This one over here is clearly top of the market. This one is the nicest looking home. It's got the best amenities, all that kind of stuff. And then you get into the stuff that's like, okay, here's the homes that have been well taken care of. The owners owned them for 10, 15 years. Maybe they've done some nice hardscape work, things like that around the home. Who knows? Could be a nice house, but it might be dated. And yeah, those are the ones that they're going to get mid-high level price range, pricing, where ours is going to sell for $300. That one might get $290, $280.
Okay.
Something like that. And then you have the stuff that needs work, and those can go anywhere from that point on down. Those can go down to as low as $120.
Yeah.
Depending on how bad they are. So things like pools do add value.
Oh, 100%. But is it $50,000 worth of value or $100,000 worth of value? Because when we're looking at
$4,000 of value,
exactly. When we're looking at pools, we have to look at it like, is it going to double the value of that pool, of that asset? Is it going to pay for itself and also provide a substantial return, double?
Yeah, for us, like we're doing a home in San Bernardino, part of San Bernardino, that pools give basically no value.
Okay.
So when we looked at this home, we said, "Cool, there's a pool."
You're talking about 13th?
Yes, I am.
That actually does that. You don't think that provided additional value?
No.
Really?
No.
I mean, you're the expert.
What's gonna provide is like a more willing buyer.
Okay.
I
you go.
don't see it as an increase in value, because you get to these neighborhoods sometimes where there's a price cap, because there's a better neighborhood out there where the next price level up makes sense to go buy in that other neighborhood.
Okay.
So they're going to buy in this neighborhood. They might even have relatives that live in this neighborhood, but they're going to have the pool.
Right.
So they want to buy it because they're going to be close to family and there's a pool there. That's what's going to sell this home when it's all done.
For sure.
But that one won't be done for a few months. We got a lot of work to do on that one.
That's a good one. Should I not be name dropping our properties?
It's public information.
Okay, it is totally public information.
Yeah, that one's going to be a little while. So
it is. I mean, it's a cool property though. It's gonna be beautiful when it's done. I'm
absolutely
excited.
Yeah, beautiful pool.
It's super cool pool
and a hot tub.
Hot tub.
It's gonna make you hot. Make you hot. It'll make you wet. Anyway, a little throwback. What are we talking about? A negotiation, right? We're doing a radio show.
So you were just asking about how do you negotiate with someone who has all of these things that are kind of turnkey, still okay, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I honestly never purchased a house like that.
It's tough. Those are the hardest ones for us to buy, because the agent is convinced that they are turnkey and they're going to sell them to a starter family.
Yeah.
It's a starter home, and they're not wrong.
They're really not, and they will sell.
They will sell, and
it may take a little bit longer though.
It sure will, especially if they're trying to get top level pricing in the neighborhood.
Exactly.
And I guess that's what I was getting at, was that if you think you're going to get $300 for that house, you might be wrong. You might end up selling it for $280, but we're not going to offer $280 because we're not a retail buyer.
Yeah, I'd offer $225 minus repairs.
Sure, exactly. And so that's the difference. That
right.
We're going to probably end up paying $200 for that house.
Right.
But because it's turnkey, because there's nothing really wrong with it, it qualifies still for bank financing.
Right.
And a bank will come in, you get an appraisal done. There's going to be nothing wrong with it that needs to get fixed in order to purchase it with a bank.
Right.
So, those are the properties we typically buy.
Nope.
But some homes are really dated.
Really, really dated.
And they're not getting any offers, which creates a new distressed situation. So when the home's been on the market for 5-10 days, maybe even a month, they're not ready to entertain an offer from us yet.
No.
But once the property's been on the market for 3-4 months in an area where properties are selling fairly quickly, call it Riverside or Moreno Valley, or actually really anywhere in the Inland Empire right
Serious.
now. Those are the ones where if they're not selling, the seller's starting to get a little antsy and probably bugging their agent, like, what's going on here?
Yep.
And so that's when they start opening themselves up to investor offers, where we say, hey, this house needs a full facelift.
Yep.
And this is the best we can do. We can offer you $200,000 for this house, and we're going to go in and give it the facelift. Then we'll probably end up selling it for $300 when it's all said and done.
I mean, what's nice is, and what I like about what we do is, I literally tell people, this is what I'm probably going to sell it for when it's done. Yep. This is what I think it's worth when it's done. And they kind of appreciate that honesty. Mm-hmm. So then they say, well, why can't you go up on your price then? Well, then I say, well, why can't you put in the $30,000 to make your house nicer?
Yeah, exactly. And that's,
because if you want to do that, then please, by all means, do that. But my money costs me money.
I'd love to find a way to do this for free. I just haven't figured that part out yet.
Yeah, right.
I still have to eat too.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't stay this weight without eating. It's tough.
I mean,
it's tough.
Even Ty Pennington, right? All that stuff costs money for them to rebuild those houses for those people.
Yeah.
They didn't actually do that for free. Like all of that marketing and all that advertising and all that Sears crap that was in their house. Yeah, that all is that's what pays for the house to be rebuilt. That all those volunteers maybe don't get paid, but those contractors that are working on that house to making sure that things up to code, all of those guys are absolutely getting paid.
Sure. except for the ones that actually do volunteer.
Right. Right.
But yeah, it's.
But anyways, so that's what I say. Is, well, my money costs me money. If it didn't cost me money, then I would totally buy this house at $280,000, and I'd put in the extra work myself. But I'm not going to live in it. I'm going to sell it to another family,
Yeah.
and I'm going to make sure this home gets the loving attention that you guys gave it in the first place.
Absolutely.
I want to make sure that this house is loved again just as much as you loved it when you first purchased it.
That's wonderful.
Let me help you do that.
Sure. That's a nice picture. I like that.
Thank you.
So negotiation with those agents is tough, but it can be done.
It totally can be done.
It's all
it just
about
takes time.
getting their expectations in line, letting them
Yeah.
understand why we offer the way we do. I think that's the most success I've had anyway.
Yeah.
Is that explaining to them how an investor works, how we work, and show them the numbers. I've had to break out the spreadsheet on numerous occasions and walk them through it. Say, I know it seems like we're making all this money, but we have to pay escrow twice. We're gonna have to pay title twice. We're gonna have to do all this stuff twice.
Right.
So these are things that eat up our money. Plus, we're gonna pay a realtor in the end to sell it. That's another commission we got to pay.
Right. And it might be you. You should really
be.
think about that.
Could be, and that's the hard thing. So it's, negotiation continues,
And 100%.
and
Yeah.
it's difficult across all all channels.
It is, yeah, but it makes the job fun. It makes this fun. It
Yeah.
makes it interesting. We get to do new stuff every single day because it's constant negotiation. I'm constantly on the phone. I'm constantly looking properties. I'm constantly out there and trying to find deals.
And so, and a lot of that you're doing is relationship based.
100%.
And
it's
that's
all relationship based.
That's exactly it. And so, at least in our world, negotiation there might not even be a property in question at this point. You're just getting to know people.
Right, and I'm sending out emails. I'm doing little drip campaigns for agents. I'm letting them know, hey, I'm still in the area. I'm still buying. Something I'm going to be doing is letting them know, like, hey, we just closed on this house, and this is what we're going to do to it. Hey, we just sold this house. This is what we bought it for, all that kind of stuff. Like, agents should know that so that they can see our quality.
Yeah.
And so they can come to us and be like, well, hey, I saw all these other things that you guys did. I want to work with a qualified seller and qualified buyer. The thing is we don't just buy one house. We buy a lot of dozens of houses. So why would you just work with someone who will buy one house every 10 years or one house every 15 years? Why wouldn't you work with someone who buys 30 to 60 houses a year?
Yeah. It makes sense to me.
It totally makes sense to me,
That's
too.
a lot of commissions.
It's a lot of commissions. It's a lot of money. Even if you did 3 houses with us, that's 3 more than you would do with any other single buyer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And of course, the nice thing about working with sellers is that you're going to get referrals, and a warm referral from a homeowner is a very powerful thing for an agent. So, like, if I bought a home and then now my brother's in the market to buy a home, and I say, hey, you got to call John. He's a great real estate agent, and he calls John. John's going to get that business because I said John was a great guy. He really knew what he was doing.
That's so great. And what's even greater is when you can bring a product to a neighborhood that's seen that house just fall apart and be a piece of crap, and be able to go to those neighbors and say, hey, listen, guess what we did? Guess what we just did? We just turned this ugly thing, this blight in this neighborhood, and we turned it into something amazing. You guys should, 1, come check it out, and 2, see if we can help you, or 3, if you know of anyone that needs some help, listen, we're here for you. Let's make this deal happen.
Yep.
If you need cash, we can help you.
Yep, and that's what an agent should be doing.
And talk about that kind of referral source.
Sure.
That's insane. The amount of deals that you can get just from doing that in just a neighborhood. Everyone knows that ugly house in that neighborhood. Everybody.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
You walk by it, you drive by it every single day, and you get pissed off every time you drive by it.
Yeah.
Okay?
What?
And then some guys like us, we come through, we buy it, we turn around, and we make it look beautiful again. And guess what? You're going to be happy. Your property value just went up significantly.
Yeah. So hopefully your agent is smart, and they're going to go out.
I would hope so.
They would go to the neighbors after we do a project and say,
Give them a little door knock.
yeah, this was the house that we had. I had this
Look
thing
at the
listed a little while
before.
back. You saw it before. Now your house is worth more as a result. And you could possibly get a listing from a standard seller.
Yeah.
That's looking to sell, or possibly find another distressed property.
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly.
So, and then they would bring that to us, and then we turn around and flip it again, and then we do that same thing.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. That's what we want to do.
Yeah,
so
that's how you keep the thing rolling.
that
but-
is how you keep the thing rolling.
in the world of MLS stuff, since we don't typically deal with the sellers directly, the story of the seller.
You know what? That's a common misconception, because every time I've been to a house, and this is pretty significant, the amount of times I've been to a house where the seller is there walking me through it.
Well, and that's what I was getting to.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But no, I was like almost at it. I was,
okay.
I was like right there. No, it's good. But you saw where I was going with it.
Yeah.
That we're not dealing with the seller directly through the agent, but that's what I was getting to is once we walk the home, the sellers are usually there.
Oh, totally.
And you can usually explain to the seller, because sometimes the agents are really terrible at explaining to their sellers why an offer came in where ours came in, and when the agent gave them the expectation sometimes that the price was going to come in much higher.
Much higher. And they're like, well, what the hell, guys? Like, why are you coming in so low? Well, honestly, this has to be done. You said that the roof needs to be redone, and the kitchens, and or the kitchen, and then the bathrooms, and then I have to look at the windows, and those windows are dated, they haven't been redone. I'm going to get dinged for all these things because the city's going to come through. They're going to take a look at it. This house may have been cited, so they're already got it in their view of, hey, we're going to ding these guys. We're going to make sure that this is done correct.
Yeah.
We have a lot of houses like that.
Sure.
And so, all of those things come into play when you're purchasing. And so all of those things come into play when you're selling at that low rate too.
Yeah.
So being mindful of that and being understanding of that really helps the seller see your point of view and why you need it the way you need it. And I mean, so many times I've been there, they really, I ask them about the house and how they enjoyed it and what types of things did they build, or what types of, how many times they've had family over and enjoyed, big old parties and all that kind of stuff. I try and get in tune with that person, because I know they put their blood, sweat, and tears into even buying this house originally.
Sure.
They took the time to figure out this neighborhood. Maybe the neighborhood went to crap, or they had a family issue or whatever, and maybe grandma was living here and grandma just passed away. And this was a family home, and they really enjoyed everything that all the time growing up.
Yeah, it was. You hear all the stories
all the time. You do, and you got to ask them. That's important in a negotiation. That's how you create that rapport, that empathy, and that relationship.
Yeah,
and that has led to so many houses coming our way, is because we're really good at creating that relationship, even if it's only for 5 minutes.
Sure,
you can show someone in that 5 minutes that, one, you care, and two, that you want to better this house and make it beautiful again for someone else.
Yeah,
so that they can enjoy it just like the kids did when with grandma
or whoever,
but anyway, just by giving them that picture of, hey, someone else is going to come in here and enjoy this thing once again. Give it to us. We can handle this. We have handled it. We've handled stuff like this in the past. Like, let us do this. We can do this project, and we're going to make you proud.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about bringing like a portfolio of past projects to a home visit like that?
I haven't, but that's actually a really great idea.
Yeah, I just kind of thought of it right now, like, to show them like what we've done to other homes, and say, this is what we did a home that looked very similar to yours, actually not too far from here, and you can kind of break open the book and say, this is what it looked like before, and like, this is what it looked like once we sold it, and here's the new family or something. Like, if we ever get a picture of that stuff, we should get a picture.
We should. I would love to see that.
Go back and visit some of the houses.
Yes,
actually, we've done that before. I can't say that's always such a good thing for us.
That's true, huh?
Because sometimes the grass is dead, and we're like, oh man, they just killed our grass. Like, all this stuff we put in. They got. I remember I drove by one, and like, we did a nice job, but the front yard was actually really big and had a big like front lawn.
Okay.
And like, we show up, I don't know, I want to say it was like 3 months later after we had sold it to these people, and like, yeah, there was like 2 cars parked on the now dirt that was in the front. Like, I'm like, oh my god, you guys!
All that water you spent.
I know to build the grass
nice.
up. And the funny thing is, I mean, most cities have like a grass ordinance. You have to have some kind of lawn, or at least have some kind of landscaping in the front. And I don't think cars qualify for that.
Nope, definitely does not. That is a yard ornament, though.
It is.
Yeah,
kind of like in that movie Cars.
Yes.
Yeah, they that was like one of the most depressing things I'd ever seen, because it wasn't even that long. But I've been by some. I like actually the first flip I ever did is in Moreno Valley. I've driven by it. They've taken good care of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Still looks exactly like I sold it to them.
I like to hear that. But you know what? Taking a portfolio of properties that we've done is not a bad idea. I've actually been thinking about putting together a portfolio of properties for these real estate agents and mailing and emailing that out.
Yeah.
We've got thousands of emails.
Sure.
Like, why aren't we doing this? It seems like that would be a great way to do a drip campaign. Hey, yet another property purchased by Community Restoration Group. We're really excited about what this is going to be. And check back in 6 months because it's going to be for sale. So make sure your buyers are ready.
Make sure your buyers are ready.
Exactly.
Because say they bring the buyer, they get another commission.
Exactly. There you go. So maybe that's a good marketing campaign. We should really consider that.
Yeah, and part of negotiation.
And it's a great part of negotiation because you can tell people, hey, listen, we've been around the park a couple times.
We know.
We know what we're doing. And you know what? Like, while you say this is $15,000, like the example earlier, it's actually going to be 35 or 50.
Sure. And you can say, here's a project we did in Fontana, that looked exactly like this house in the beginning,
or it was even worse.
Sure. Well, you'll find when you get into this business, a lot of people that are new, if you've ever driven a lot of different neighborhoods, you've probably noticed that there's a very similar look to homes, especially here in Southern California.
Of course.
I mean, there are these, floor plans that just work. It's a good floor plan. You walk in the front door. There's a living room on either your right or your left. And you have a formal dining room maybe somewhere around there, and then you have the kitchen straight ahead on your right or left, and then you have a hallway somewhere out there. That there's these very typical floor plans,
right?
Because they just work. And the funny thing is that we've done a lot of homes that are very similar. We've done
totally
homes. We've done homes in different cities that are the exact same floor plan.
Wow.
And it's because it was probably the same builder, that built the same home.
Sonora homes are a lot like that.
Yeah, they're not the only ones.
No.
I mean, KB, they're all guilty of it. It's not. I shouldn't say guilty. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because you get these floor plans that work. They sell well. It's just I know in Moreno Valley there's a lot of tract homes that look very similar.
A crazy amount.
And they're great.
That's all it is.
They're great though because number one, they're easy to value.
That makes my job super duper easy.
Yeah, because you can compare it to a home that's exactly identical to it, right down the street that sold within the last couple months, and those are easy comparable sales. Right. But it gets harder when you're in areas where there's a lot of semi-customs or
if you're out in the middle of nowhere, like some parts of Paris or Moreno Valley or Riverside, even
Hemet, San Jacinto.
Oh my God, Hemet and San Jacinto.
Yeah,
totally.
Sure, but there's those
Temecula.
Parts of Temecula for sure. But that's that's part of the business and understanding a market. That's why when you get to those areas, it's good to know the agents that are specific to those regions because they know. They say, okay, this is a great property, and this is horse property out there, or whatever. And everybody, it's a 1 acre minimum lot, and they know what's going on in those homes, and they can tell you what the value is based upon what it's got to offer.
Okay, that's a great. I mean, that's a great tool to use for negotiations too.
Sure.
I mean, when you're looking at maybe reselling, you call someone like that, you get all of that information, so you can provide all the amenities that someone would be looking for in that area.
Yeah.
I know that's something that we're doing out on Temecula at the moment. We called a bunch of agents, had them come walk the house, and they told us everything that was wrong and everything that was right and what they'd like to see some more of. And we're making those adjustments right now, and it's coming along really, really nicely.
I remember doing a deal. It was way out in, I want to say it was in like Oxnard or Calabasas or something way out there.
Okay.
From here anyway. And they, the guys I was doing it with, they were like, we need to put a horse corral in this property, because people want to have horses out here. That's why people buy. And I'm like, I've never done this before. I've never put in a horse corral. So okay, if you say so, and this was when I was fairly new, and they kind of convinced me to do it. So we put it in, and offers just right away came in.
Wow.
Once it was time to go sell, because you had to have something for horses there.
Okay.
And so they had what was a 3-stall stable and a little pen, they'd put in, and it wasn't much. I think they spent all in total $8,000 to put all this stuff in, but it's what people would want. They want to come into that. And the people that bought it I think they already had horses, that bought the place. So it worked out for them because they needed a place to put their horses.
Right.
So like when you're in a situation like that, you're looking for something very specific.
Yeah.
So, and at that time, there were those people and a bunch of other people in the same scenario looking for a place to house their horses.
That's pretty cool.
And you don't
Like
you don't have
Norco,
time.
you have to do that. Norco, you have to do that.
Yeah, Horsetown, USA.
Yeah, Horsetown, USA.
So that's part of negotiations.
Totally. I mean, that's probably one of the most important part of the negotiations is knowing the amenities that are around you that you need in order to resell the house at maximum capacity.
That's that fact finding
Maximum
we talked
value.
about in the very beginning.
Exactly.
Get the facts, and then you can start from a place of knowledge. Because who knows, this could be an out of the area agent that's got it listed.
Exactly.
That might have been a friend of
Oh
theirs.
my God, that
and they're
happens so
listing it.
much. I love talking to the Orange County people because they have no idea what the prices are out in the Inland Empire.
Us hillbillies out here in the
Oh
Inland
yeah,
Empire.
total hillbillies.
They're
yeah.
so surprised to find out we have teeth. It's great.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you're not all meth heads.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, actually, yeah, no, we're not. Well, we got paved roads now. It's fantastic.
Well, yeah, we have cars. These things called cars that they run. Wow.
I know, it's pretty amazing. But yeah, the Orange County, the out of the area agents are great because they don't know what an area has to offer.
No.
And they don't know what affects pricing. So
Exactly.
I find that in our position, we're often educating people in some form or fashion. We're either educating the agent or we're educating the seller, and that's our method of negotiation is to educate.
Yeah, totally.
So
We even have a whole thing on educating agents on how to get 2 deals a month with little or no clients.
indeed we do. Do we have a way for them to get that? If we can, I don't think we have a thing.
Oh, we don't have a thing.
Yeah,
No.
we need to set up
We
a
should
thing.
put like a website up or something like that. That'd be nice.
You know what? I think what I could offer them, at least for now,
Yeah.
is that if they're interested in
Okay.
working with real estate investors, what they should do is come to the Inland Empire Real Estate
Oh,
Investment
hey,
Club.
that's a great idea.
For those of you out there that want to get into real estate investing, you got to come to the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. We're one of the largest investment clubs in all of California.
Which is very exciting.
Very exciting. We're almost 3,600 members now.
That's awesome.
Which is pretty amazing because we started out in September 2014 was our first meeting to 4 people.
Wow.
Yeah, it blows my mind just looking back because, that for me, it wasn't that long ago, but it seems like such a long time ago because
Yeah, it does.
our meeting has changed
Dramatically, yeah.
since then.
Now it's a show.
It really is. It's a show, but it's edutainment. All right,
Yeah.
that's what we call it, edutainment, because
Yes.
it's educational, but it's
Yes.
entertaining. We like to have a good time on this show. I'd like to think we're entertaining, but that's I don't know. The ratings tell us otherwise. I think no.
I think we're entertaining. You're definitely an entertaining fellow.
Wow, that's a very nice compliment.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
I was feeling so down before. Now I
Oh.
feel so much better.
Do you? Okay, that's wonderful.
Well, thank you. I think it's entertaining.
It is entertaining.
One day we'll take a vote from all the viewers out there and let us know if you think we're entertaining or not. Maybe we should set up a website.
Oh, we should. You know what? That's a great idea.
How was the show? Was it good? No?
No.
Tell us why. What could we do to make it
Yeah,
better?
'cause we're always interested in making ourselves better.
Anyway, back to the investment club.
Yes,
You got to
you should
come check
totally
it
come
out.
out.
Our next major monthly meeting is going to be on April 25th. That's going to be at the Loft 84 in downtown Riverside. We open the doors at 6 o'clock p.m., and that will go until they kick us out, which is right around 11-ish or so. It's a good meeting. We have a format on that one. It's a paid thing, so it's $30 because as much as Loft 84 loves us and as much as we love them, they don't give us the room for free.
No, they definitely don't. What
and
about the coffee?
the
What day is
coffee?
that?
Well, that's going to be the Saturday before. We always do a Saturday morning coffee event the Saturday before
Okay.
the main monthly meeting. So that's going to be Saturday, April 21st.
21st. Okay, awesome.
And we're doing that at Arcade Coffee Roasters now.
I love arcade.
Arcade was cool, but it was our first time doing them there because Lift number 2 in Riverside
Yeah,
closed
totally
down,
closed.
and they didn't tell us. They didn't bother letting us know ahead of time.
After being there a year.
After going to our Saturday morning coffee there
blows my mind.
for a year, but hey, what can you do?
I mean, yeah, what can you do? If you're losing business, that sucks. I wouldn't want to talk about it much either.
Yeah, so we had to move it to Arcade Coffee, and you can get the address. All the details are up on meetup.com. Look up the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club, and it'll give you all the details on where we're doing our meetings and what time they're going to be. but we don't reveal who the special guest is at the monthly meeting. And I've been getting a lot of questions about this, actually. People have been asking me why we don't do that. And the reason being because it's always somebody that's going to blow your mind.
Right.
And I don't want you to miss it because you might have a preconceived notion about somebody.
Exactly.
You know, I want you to show up and be amazed once you get there, you know, which is funny. But also some of these people, if you use their name when you market your meeting, they want money for that. So
that happens. Yeah.
we're trying to keep the cost as low as we can. It's $30. It's not that much money. But yeah, it just helps us cover the cost of the room. We do have food also. So if you come hungry, we got tacos, which are great.
Super great.
From the Taco Man.
And that comes with, entry. That's part of your entry fee.
Yeah, your entry fee.
You can literally eat as many tacos as you want.
Absolutely. And yeah, please eat more because we always end the night.
Always have so much
extras, and I can't eat them all. I've tried.
It's too much.
It
we
doesn't
have
work.
tried several times.
And there's a bar. So if you're into that sort of thing, you could come and have a glass of wine or 6 or 7 glasses of wine like some people have done, and it's pretty funty.
It is pretty funny. We have a good time with
But
that.
bring your business cards because that's what the meetings are for.
Definitely.
And
networking is crazy good.
yeah, come meet me. Come meet Tyler. Meet my other business partner,
Yes.
Stephen McKee. He's a real gas, and the rest of the team. Everybody's there. We get a bunch of investors in the room, and they're all good people that are there to help. So
Absolutely.
if you're interested in working with investors or becoming an investor yourself, check out the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. That's our commercial, and we still got a few minutes left. So,
Do
what should we talk about? What have you been doing? What have you been working on? You haven't been feeling well lately.
I haven't been. No, yeah, I've been feeling a little sick. I've got some issues, I think, with my kidneys and stuff like that. So, but I'll be okay. I've been drinking a lot of water. It seems like it's helping a lot. So
That's
I
good.
felt really, really good today. I woke up feeling good, and I've been up all day, so that's a plus. I haven't had to take a nap or anything.
That's
I will
awesome.
be taking a nap later, though. I can totally feel it coming on.
Uh-oh.
But that's okay. But yeah, so I'm just I'm out there searching for property, trying to find new deals, and putting together a marketing campaign.
And I was just going to point out that it is nice to be able to be self-employed in a way where you can take a couple of days off and you can be sick, and it's not gonna affect you.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, it doesn't affect me in my bottom dollar, right? And that's awesome. But I mean, it does affect my ability to value property like I want to and be in the office like I want to, because I love being there.
Sure.
I love hanging out with you and Steven. We always have a very good time. So, as part of my job, I want to do everything I can to be the best I can. And so by being sick, it's really limiting that, and it's making me frustrated. Because I feel like I am a high performer, and I'm not being able to do that at the moment. And so it's frustrating.
I hear you. You'll get over it.
I will get over it. You're right. I'm currently in negotiations with my body, and it's not going well.
Yeah, exactly. My body's winning.
Yeah, my body's definitely winning. But hey, we're on our way and trying to feel better, and today was a very good day. So so I'm currently working on several different deals. I've got I help with joint ventures for people. So whoever wants to do a joint venture with Community Restoration Group, I help set up a process with them and help them value their deal and move along their whole negotiation. Actually,
so how should people get in touch with you?
You should email me at Tyler J Hungerford HUNGERFORD @gmail.com. That's my email, or my phone number is 951-660-5981.
Wow.
So those are the two ways to email me or call me. Those are the ways that you should set yourself up. But first and foremost, if you are going to do a joint venture deal with us, you need to sign up for crg.email. That'll give you a great resource for starting your investment company or investment journey. There's a lot of amazing tools on there, and a lot of ways that you can find out how to find deals, and then how to value them on top of that.
Yeah.
So that would be the first place I would start. It wouldn't even be calling me.
How do I get that again?
crg.email. You put in your name and your email address and I think your phone number.
What is that? Is that that's a website?
No, it's actually not a website. It's a capture site where we get your contact info, and then we immediately email back out an email from Community Restoration Group that basically gives you all of the information on our business, how we run it, how we do it, and how you can emulate and do it yourself.
So how do I get to crg.email? Is that a Snapchat?
It's not a Snapchat. You literally just type it into Google and it'll pop up.
Oh, interesting. So it is a website.
It is. Well, I guess it's partially a website. Like I said, it's a capture site. So it's
No, I've signed up for these things before. I've gotten spammed a bunch of times.
Oh, this is not. No, this is one email that comes back to you one time. So you send us this, you get one email, and then whenever we update it, obviously, so you have the most up to date stuff. Then we do email you again. But that's it.
Okay, well that's fair.
It is fair, right?
I like that.
Yeah, we're not trying to spam you with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
This isn't some kind of
We don't make money.
Well, we are a
selling
little crazy
information.
crew. No, we don't make money selling information.
That's a lot of people do make money selling information in this business, and we're not one of them. So
No, yeah.
Anyway,
No, thanks.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in for the Flip Flop Investor Show. We're going to be back again next week.
Awesome.
Yeah. So tune in then, Thursday, 4 p.m. right here on KCAA. Have a good week, everyone. Take care.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a